Hello, Minecrafters. Welcome again to another episode of Minecraft with Preacher. Today, we're going to work on a tutorial. This is going to be one of my first tutorials that I've ever done. So, y'all bear with me. I'm sure it'll be a little rocky, but we'll try to get through it. So, behind me, we have a general mob farm. Everybody knows how to build a general mob farm. If you don't, there's plenty of tutorials out there. If you'd like for me to do a tutorial on it, let me know in the comments. I might do one for you. But this is a general mob farm. Now, it does have a spider filter on it. So, and that's for good reason. And we're going to get into that. So, up here on the land, we want to keep most everything up here free of spawns. That's going to help our mob farm work. Okay. Now, the key to our mob farm that makes it better than any other mob farm and has better spawn rates and better XP than any other mob farm out there is going to be our killing chamber. Let's go down and let's look at our killing chamber. First thing we're going to do, we're going to get a good look at our spider filter. So let's, I'm going to do this. Now we get a good look at everything. All right. So let's look at our spider filter. It is simply a slab with a piece of sand on top and a top half slab, a piece of sand on top of that, and then 3 layers of cactus grown up to the top of that. Now, let's drop on down a little bit further and we'll get a good look. All right, we see it right there. This is also a zombie spawner. Ain't that something? So we have combined a general mob farm with a zombie spawner. Now, a lot of times in your beginner worlds, a lot of times we'll start off and we'll build our we'll start off caving. We go in, we build a let's say we find a zombie spawner. Well, we build a spawner room around that, and we can go down and farm our zombies. You know, if you're lucky or if you're blessed, you'll get 2 spawners that are within proximity of one another, and they'll be able to spawn in 2 zombies or maybe a zombie and a skeleton. That's if you're blessed. All right. So then we turn around and we get up to our surface and we're building our cities and everything, and we realize, oh well, we need rockets. So now we build another mob spawner that will handle creepers. And then if we still haven't found say we haven't found a skelly farm, we finally do find a skelly farm down in the cave somewhere. We come back and we build a skelly farm. We got a skelly farm, a zombie farm, and then maybe one day you figure out, well, I need some string to do to do some terraforming, keep my bamboo from growing up to the mountains. Then you come in and you find you an abandoned mine shaft. You get you a spider cave spider spawner, and you build you a cave spider spawner. Now you got a cave spider spawner. You have the skelly spawner, the zombie spawner, the creeper farm. You have all of these farms, and you've spent all of that time building all of these. And if you just took the time in the very beginning, when you had your first little spawner, if you just took the time, you'd have all of that in one farm. So let's go around over here. We can already hear them. Let's jump in spectator mode so we can go through walls, so we don't have to go around. I have a clock here set to mine because I don't have my surface torched. So we'll go back into let's go into survival mode, and let's just look and see. We're at 51, level 51. Now all of my levels I got in survival mode. I did not go into spectator mode until I started making this video. And so everything here is done in survival. You can tell everything's done in survival because it's not finished. If I had it done in 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 creative mode, boy, I'd have this thing looking pretty, but I'm not in creative mode. Matter of fact, I brought this thing here out to show you how much stuff we have been getting. So here we go. Let's give her a good whack, one hit, and we get all of that stuff. Now look at all that experience. Look at the experience going up. At 52, I'm getting all of that experience. So all of that. Now look, I can take any extra goods that I got and I just drop it down in here. Oh, that's not extra. That's my stuff. Where am I going with that? That was my stuff. All right. Let's see. Make sure I got my things. All right. It'll just come through into the sorting system. I don't plan on keeping this world. I actually created this world just for the purpose of creating this combination spawner, general mob farm, and spawner farm. And so I wanted to put them together just because I had the idea and I wanted to be able to show it all to y'all, but I want it to be a genuine, like, hey, I went in here and actually did this in survival and was able to show you, hey, this stuff is possible. And I did do a little bit of decorating. You know, I got this little tube right here going up, and this little tube right here where I go up, and so it is a little bit decorative. But I didn't spend a whole lot of time decorating everything. You know, you see most everything here is in cobblestone, and the thing the spawner floors up there are done in stone. I did spend the time to cook every single bit of the cobblestone to turn it into stone so I could build those floors up there. Anyhow, all of that said, let's go back into spectator mode and we can look at some of the features in there. Now, you've already seen some of it. Now, I do have a double chamber here. It's only a single drop chamber, but I have it set to where they can occupy two different spaces because the creatures were dying so fast. When they would drop down here, they would die so fast that I couldn't get they'd entity cram before I knew what was going on, and so just me taking the time to sort. Oh, let's jump back over. I want to show you the chest. Survival. There we go. All right. Let's see the chest. This right here is of course, our zombie meat is going to have the most because this is a zombie spawner. So let's go over here and look at this zombie meat coming out of our ears. Bones. I've crafted all of these bone blocks. Arrows. I have actually cleared out this whole entire thing and dumped half of the arrows. Gunpowder. This is not all the gunpowder. We've been collecting gunpowder, made a bunch of TNT, made a bunch of rockets, been flying around in this world. That's my gunpowder box. That's why I set it there. We got gunpowder for days. We got string for days. We have a few spider eyes. They don't drop that many spider eyes. The spiders that are killed by the spider filter up there. And then other stuff, just stuff. Now, I did open this world in a 1.16 world, and but this is a converted world. You just saw some glow ink in that chest. There's some glow ink in there. We are in 1.17. This farm is working in 1.17. So there's a couple of other things I wanted to show you that are helping this farm along. And so let's jump back over into spectator mode and I'll show you some of these things. All right, we have the filter, which is simply we did a 5x5 hole, and then in the 3x3 interior, we put the sand and the cactus growing up. And this is 3 high between the floor and the ceiling here. And then you drop down. Of course, we got a solid wall going all the way down from the center going over the top of our spawner. This is to keep any mobs from when they drop down in this hole from falling on top of our spawner. We don't want them taking the damage because if they come around, they drop down into our hole, they're going to die there. So then we got the basic 9x9 room. So you got the water source over here against this wall. Well, well, all right. So we have the basic 9x9 room for our spawner. And we did carve this all the way up to the surface. And this, we got water sources all along the side over here. Then we come over here. And now, if you've ever seen if you ever done a mob spawner, before, you notice when mobs drop down. Well, if we can get it to do it, there we go. When they drop down, when they hit this edge right here, they slow down. Now, what I did is I dropped down two more. I dug it out 2 blocks right there, and put fence gates, and that's so that the mobs don't slow down as much as they normally do. That'll help you to move your mobs out of range of the spawner faster, and that way your spawner will activate sooner. Now, also, we did the same thing right here. We did a water source. We came out 4 blocks, and then we did 2 fence gates and dropped down to the next layer and kept on going out. Now, one of the things that we did out here, as you're fixing to see, you see if we see a zombie real fast, see he got stuck, but he got pulled out. Did you see that? All right, he got stuck, but he got pulled out. So a lot of times, guys will take and they'll build this. They'll take and build this tunnel up too wide, all the way up. They'll go fence gates all the way up, and they'll leave this thing too wide. You don't have to do that. That little hole right there, all you got to do is dig out one extra little hole. That's all you got to do. And what happens is that creates flowing water from this source block back into that hole. And when the water flows back, it pulls a zombie, it pulls your zombies into that hole. The only problem I've ever had out of this is a baby zombie. I've had baby zombies that will get sucked into that little hole and be there until they convert to drowned, and then you leave and they despawn and so on and so forth. So that's the only trouble I've ever had out of that. Maybe if you put a no, I don't think you can do anything with it. You can't put anything in there. So but that seems to work to pull all of my zombies back into, instead of them getting caught right there. You see it? It happens every single time. So they get stuck and it pulls them in. They get stuck and it pulls them in. Get stuck and it pulls them in. So pretty cool. All right, and so that helps out down here. Of course, you know how to make a general mob farm. I choose. Some people choose to use a uh, the Etho Hopper clock, or some people use the repeater uh, chain. I like to use the Etho Hopper clock because I can simply just reach inside of one of these hoppers and pull out extra material if I want to slow it down or speed it up or whatnot. And so these right here, this is a basic mob farm. You can get it's nighttime, so we got things spawning up on the ledge. Um, of course, there's zombies spawning everywhere. Now, I will say this right here. I did this in survival mode. Okay, so I did this in survival mode, and so I say that because I did not get every. Now you can't see it. I got night vision on, but there are some caves around here that are not completely lit up. Okay, we did spawn over the top of it. I spent a lot of time trying to light up this the the abandoned mine shaft. I spent a lot of time in here. That was a lot. We found this. I logged into this world and I found this spawner right here next to this abandoned mine shaft, and it took a lot of time lighting up this abandoned mine shaft. But I did it, and I did miss some spots. I did miss some spots, and so there's some spots that I didn't get lit up, and it has hurt my general mob farm up there. But overall, I mean, with the zombie spawner right there in with it, it is. I mean, it's a beast. It is. It is by far the best spawner XP farm early game that I've ever had, and I will continue to put these in my worlds where I can. And so, with all that being said, I hope that you enjoyed. Let me switch back over um, to survival. Yes. All right. And I'm going to switch back to that or there. Hello. All right. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial here. If you want to see more, if you want to see a block by block on this tutorial, if you want to see how I did it, I can come back and put together a better world to do this with. But all the particles around me because I got night vision. All right. But I really appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more, please subscribe to my my channel. And if I don't see you again, I will see you in heaven.